rights, duties, and liabilities of partners. All these things we have seen in the previous chapter, and we have ended with the types of partners there. So we have seen active partner, sleeping partner, nominal partner, partner in profits only, partner by estoppel, partner by holding out, secret partner, minor partner, or all the divisions of types of partners. So now we are moving to the next topic, that is registration of partnership firm. So already we have seen that the Indian Partnership Act does not make the registration of a partnership compulsory. We have already seen it is optional. A partnership is formed by agreement, and this agreement can be in written form or in oral form. It is only optional, it is not necessary, and registration is also not compulsory. But registration is even though registration is optional, but the disabilities of non-registration virtually makes it compulsory. That is, அதில் விழக்கூடிய விளைவுகள், கான்சிக்வன்சஸ் ஆஃப் நான் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் அப்படின்னு ஒன்று இருக்குது. அதனாலேயே என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, எல்லா பார்ட்னர்ஸும் சேர்ந்து ஓகே லெட் அஸ் மேக் த பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஃபர்ம் கெட் ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட் த்ரூ அ ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரார் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்களே டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ தேர் ஆர் சர்டன் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் டு பி ஃபாலோட் while registering the firm. So let us see what are they. So registration of partnership is not compulsory under the Partnership Act of 1932. The act provides that if the partners so desire, they may register the firm with the registrar of firms of the state in which the principal office of the firm is situated. ஸோ எங்கே அவங்களுடைய பிரின்சிபல் ஆஃபீஸ், அதாவது ஹெட் குவார்ட்டர்ஸ் எங்கே இருக்கோ அந்த ஏரியாவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரார் கிட்ட போய் பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஆக்ட் ஆஃப் 1932 படி அவங்க வந்து ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷனை பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ தெர் ஆர் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் டு பி ஃபாலோட். த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஷுட் பி ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் ஸ்டேட்டிங் த ஃபாலோயிங் particulars. That is, the first one is the name of the firm. So what is the name of the firm? Partnership firm ஓட நேமை முதல்ல டிசைட் பண்ணி அவங்க அதையும் வந்து ஸ்பெசிஃபை பண்ணணும். That is the first thing required. The principal place of business, where the business is conducted. Then the third point is name of the other places where the firm carried on business. So if there are branches, that should also be mentioned in the application of the application form for registration. Then the fourth is names and addresses of all partners. That should be specified. The date on which each partner joined the firm. So that is very, very important because each and every partner is binding the firm. The duration of the firm. Duration is the time. What is the time? If it is a particular partnership, we have to mention whether it is for a stipulated time or for achieving a particular objective. That should be mentioned there, duration. If it is for 10 years period, that has to be mentioned there. So that is the duration of the firm. So all these 6 details must be mentioned in the filling up of application form, while filling up the application form. The first one is the name of the firm, the principal place of business, name of other places where the firm carried on business, names and addresses of all partners, the date on which each partner joined the firm, and the duration of the firm. Suppose if this question is asked in the 3 marks question, you should be able to give this 6 points there. So this statement must be signed by all the partners, should be produced to the registrar of the firms along with the necessary registration fees. So it is necessary that all the partners signing of application form and verification by each partner, each and every partner should sign the application form. Submission after signing, that has to be submitted to form along with the registration form fee to the registrar. Scrutiny by the registrar. Then next step is scrutiny, verification. The registrar will verify whether all the details are correctly specified there, and after verifying that all the legal formalities have been compiled with, then the name of the firm will be entered in the register of the partnership firms. So this is the step. Any changes in the above particulars must be communicated to the registrar within 14 days of such alteration. That is very, very important. 1 mark question, you can underline that in your textbook. within 14 days, any change in the information submitted at the time of registration should be conveyed to the registered within 14 days. And a certificate of registration by the registrar will be issued after registering the firm's name in the register. Then consequences of non-registration, that is the drawbacks of non-registration of partnership. So there are certain drawbacks if you are not going to get your firm registered. So the first one is no right to file suit against others, cannot enforce claims against the third party. Third party means other people, those who are linked to the business, partnership business. So they cannot enforce claims against the third party. They cannot file a suit. For example, they cannot file any case. Suit means case. An unregistered firm cannot file a case to enforce its claims against third parties. Third parties means other persons who are linked to the business. If such rights arise out of contract, for example, no court of action is possible to recover debts from third parties. It has no right even to demand a set-off in any suit filed by its creditors. So, in order to avoid all these consequences, it is better to register the firm. The next one is cannot file suit against any of the partners. So, if the firm is not registered, we cannot file any case if something wrong is done by the partners. However, it can sue others for enforcing rights arising otherwise than out of a contract. For example, it can bring a suit for wrongful infringement of trademark of patent. Suppose if any other firm is copied their trademark or their patent, then the partners can file a case in the courts of law only if the firm is registered. So, right of third parties to partners can file a suit against the firm. So, only if the firm is registered, they can file a suit. Partners cannot file a suit against other partners. Right of third parties to sue the firm. The rights of third parties against the firm are not affected by non-registration. It means that they can sue the firm or any of its partners. A partner of an unregistered firm cannot sue the firm or other partners for enforcing his rights under the partnership deed. So that is the meaning of the third point and the fourth point here. However, his right to sue for dissolution of firm for the accounts or of a dissolved firm or for his share in the assets of dissolved firm is not affected by non-registration. Suppose if they are going to dissolve the firm, then he can claim his share as well as he can go for dissolution, ask for dissolution of the firm. This is all not going to affect. In short, non-registration does not affect the following rights. See here, even if the firm is non-registered, the following is not going to be affected. Suit not exceeding rupees 100. So 100 kulla irundhathu appadina it is not going to be affected. The rights of firm or partners of a firm having no place of business in India, then in such cases it is not going to affect. The power of an official assignee or receiver to release the property of an insolvent partner. Insolventna pay பண்ண முடியாத ஒரு பார்ட்னர் இருந்தா, power of an official assignee or receiver to release the property of an insolvent partner. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சுச்சுவேஷன்ஸில் கண்டிப்பாக கொடுத்து தான் ஆகணும், ஈவன் இஃப் த ஃபர்ம் இஸ் நாட் ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட். Suit arising otherwise than out of contract or as explained above. கான்ட்ராக்டில் எழுதியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா அது வந்து கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணலாம். அந்த டைமில் அன்ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட் ஃபர்மாக இருந்தாலும் அந்த சர்டன் கேசஸில் வந்து நம்ம ஃபைல் பண்ணி நம்ம அந்த கிளைம்ஸை வந்து நம்ம இது பண்ணிக்கலாம், நம்மளுக்கு சாதகமாக பயன்படுத்திக்கலாம். Suit by a partner for the dissolution of a firm or for accounts of dissolved firm or for share in the assets of dissolved firm as stated above. ஸோ ஒரு பார்ட்னர் நினைச்சா அன்ரிஜிஸ்டர்ட் ஃபர்மாக இருந்தாலும் அந்த ஃபர்ம் மேலே வந்து கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ண முடியும். அதேமாதிரி அவரோட டிசல்யூஷன் போது அவர் வந்து டிசல்யூஷனுக்கு வந்து தன்னோட நோட்டீஸ் கொடுக்க முடியும். அப்படி டிசால்வ் பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா அதில் இருக்க ஷேர்ஸை வந்து அவர் கிளைம் பண்ணுறதுக்கு அவருக்கு ரைட்ஸ் உண்டு, அதை வந்து கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணுறதுக்கு அவருக்கு ஃபுல் ரைட்ஸும் உண்டு. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து லிமிட்டேஷன். சூ ஃபார் டிசல்யூஷன் ஆஃப் த ஃபர்ம் or for accounts of dissolved firm or power to release the property of the dissolved firm, power of an official assignee to release the realize the property of an insolvent partner, right of a third party to sue the firm or partners or its partners. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து rights. So even if the firm is unregistered, right to sue third party for infringement of a patent right. Patent அப்படின்னா அவங்களோட ட்ரேட்மார்க், அவங்களோட காப்பி ரைட்டுன்னு சொல்லலாம். ஸோ அந்த காப்பி ரைட்ஸை வந்து இன்னொரு ஃபர்ம் காப்பி பண்ண முடியாது. அப்படி காப்பி பண்ணால் இவங்க வந்து ஃபைல் பண்ணலாம், கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணலாம், ஈவன் இஃப் தே ஆர் அன்ரெஜிஸ்டர்ட் ஃபர்ம். ஸோ இது we have finished with what is meant by registration of partnership, procedure for partnership, and drawbacks or consequences of non-registration. So with this I will conclude this video, and in the next video we will be seeing about dissolution of partnership firm and dissolution of partnership also. And dissolution of partnership can take place, where are the situations which can take place for dissolution of partnership.